So hi, welcome to Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with
Elijah from Cane Hill.
There are some questions today about the upcoming album, A Piece of Me I Never Let You Find. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the announcement so far?
So far, I'd like to say it feels like we're back, but it feels like maybe we've never been there, and that this is the first time that we're cool as hell. I was telling the guys the other day, things feel different than they have in the past, you know. So I'm in a good place for now.
Things seem different than they have in the past, because I've known about the band for a while, but there are a lot of people talking about the band this time.
Nice. So even an outside perspective confirms my suspicions. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been doing this for like 10 years, and like, so I'm pretty like used to like the ebb and flow of releasing music. And I'm used to, I guess I'm used to people like getting excited and then forgetting about it and then getting excited again and then forgetting about it. So far it's felt new. I don't know, fresh.
That's good.
I'm perplexed.
Yeah.
I'm having a good time.
That's good. Well, we got to hear the album early. It fucking rips.
Oh, no way.
It is incredible.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, because y'all are gonna be the first person. Y'all are the second people I've talked to at all about it, and the first people I've talked to who haven't heard it.
That's exciting.
So this is exciting for me.
Yeah.
If I get weirdly emotional, feel free to cut my tears out. I've been weird when I talk about it recently.
It's okay.
Oh,
We're here
all
for the
good.
emotional stuff. Let it all out.
Sweet.
Man. Hell yeah.
All right.
Fuck yeah.
I love therapy. I pay someone for this at home, but I love the free kind too.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. Free 30-minute session here. Mhm.
Good luck, guys.
Oh God, we've never had someone wish us good luck before we really get into it.
That was
That's
the
cool.
first time.
It's cool. I wish the real therapist luck every time too. So
Well, it's a good thing I just got out of my own therapy session a couple hours ago, so I'm ready. Whatever you
good.
need.
Did you win?
Pumped.
Did you win?
Of course I won.
Fuck
Sick.
yeah.
That's all that matters.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Damn right. So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Yeah, and also I hope y'all don't mind me like secretly hitting my vape while we do this.
No.
Go ahead.
Loud and proud,
I'm
man.
so addicted. Yeah, so A Piece of Me I Never Let You Find. The whole album is so I don't know how much Cane Hill lore you know, but they're like when the pandemic hit, we had also coincidentally just lost management, label, booking agent, business manager, any other people I could think of off the top of my head if I knew what the size of our team was.
Mhm.
Like the only people we kept were our PRs because God bless those women. And we were going through like probably the worst time period as a band ever until we started releasing music. And I don't know. So like for 6 months, we didn't really know what to do because at first we were like, well, why don't we just put out music independently? And then we were like, well, how do we do that? Because the world is still currently spinning. We're broke. And then pandemic came and we had a great time. We enjoyed it thoroughly, even if, some people died. Bands all kind of got leveled out with us. Like, in a very selfish way, like I was like sick. Nobody can really do anything. Like we just lost our whole team. We also just lost the whole world.
Yeah, the playing field has been leveled in a weird, fucked up way.
Yeah, what's up, suckers? So we had already conveniently had like our world ended plan. So we just continued with it. Everybody else was kind of like in this like standstill where they didn't know what to do. And we were like, well, we just happened to kind of be like mildly prepared for disaster since we were in our own disaster. And we used it as a way to like kind of get like our money up, independently put some stuff out, make like better connections with the fan base because it was like a period of like real deep honesty with the fans. Like, hey, what's up? We have no money. We have no team. We kind of suck. Everybody kind of hates us. We're figuring it out. And we noticed that everything was, again, it was like another kind of one of those like, wow, this is like a new feeling, like things seem to be going better for us now. But with that came kind of like the analyzation of our career up until that point, and what had gone wrong, how like things had like taken left or right turns, and we got to kind of look at how our team from that point had been built, like how the industry kind of treats artists and musicians. Which had always been active in our heads anyway. We're smart people. We understand what's going on. It's just sometimes when you're young, you ignore it.
Mhm.
You like your opportunities, you get to travel the world. Um, but we put out 3 songs, 6 songs during the pandemic, and we saw the most money we've ever seen in our entire lives from music, just
Mhm.
putting out some dinky songs, putting some low budget stuff into the music videos. So I
Mhm.
said I'd rant, and I'm realizing question one, I'm going into deep lore. You can
Mhm. Mhm.
stop me. Anyway,
No, let's
piece
go,
of me
No,
I
man.
never let
man,
you
it's a
find.
podcast. Yeah.
A piece of me I never let you find is
Mhm.
like about like realizing what had happened to us, kind of like all the ways that we had been like, like royally screwed, the way that every band is kind of royally screwed, like our unique ways, and coming out of it better, coming out of it stronger, which I mean, there were so many times we could have and should have maybe just quit,
Mhm.
there my wife remembers vividly all the times I said I was gonna, and she had to convince me not to. The band had
Oh.
convinced kind of each other constantly not to. Um, but the album is quite literally like all of our secret feelings that we were able to hold on to, like the small bits of our honest selves that while everybody was pushing us to be something or do something or go any direction, like that they wanted us to go because they saw some future success in it that never came to fruition. Um, we realized when we just do whatever the fuck we want to do, it does better.
Mhm.
People like it more. We like it more. Everyone's happier, except maybe a suit or two.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't care about. So
Absolutely.
Fuck it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. There is a unique way that how the industry works to fuck the very thing that keeps the industry moving, which is the bands. It's everyone
ain't that
except the bands looking to make the money.
it's just capitalism,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, we can look at it on the grand scale of things.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
expected, at this point.
Yeah.
You grow up, go to art class in school, and they teach about all these starving artists. Like you literally hear about them growing up, and you're like, oh, even back then, nobody paid artists. I think
Mhm.
the most of the time when you hear about artists getting paid, it's Renaissance era or
Mhm.
somewhere around that when the church wanted to have art, so obviously they'll
Yeah.
pay for it because
Yeah.
they got
Yeah.
God money. Whatever. That's like a different rant. We could
Fucking God money,
want
man.
to talk about college and the institutions that be politics, art, modern architecture will get me angry if we talk about it.
Well,
But yeah,
Okay.
sure. Let's talk about the album.
since
Yeah,
you brought
yeah.
up art, is there any meaning behind the cover art?
Yes. Okay, yeah. Part two of question one.
Yes.
Mhm.
The album artwork itself. Yeah. I mean, so a music box in of itself is like this like secret little thing, right? And this one has a lock on it. It has like some privacy to it. And I know stories growing up, um, albeit I think usually more like feminine coming of age stories. You see the symbolism of a dancer in a box.
Mhm.
You see like young women going through the realizations of like going through childhood to semi-adulthood to adulthood. And I think it's a lot more
Mhm.
complicated on that side than what you and I have probably gone through, Shane.
Mhm.
But the 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 pieces of you that regardless of your gender at this point, the pieces of you that like you don't show, that you hold on to a little bit deeper than the rest, like when you're making friends or you're in school or you're trying out for sports and clubs. And it honestly comes from when we toured with Crystal Lake. They told us about this ideology of multiple masks. So the masks that you wear in public, the masks you wear with your friends, the mask you wear when you um, think of yourself, and then your true face.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
even when you're speaking with yourself or thinking with yourself and of yourself and around yourself, you're still wearing some sort of mask that is who you want to be and who you want to be personified as. And there's always this bit of you secretly hidden away that is there and that maybe you're keeping secret for a reason. And
Mhm.
I mean, this album is just trauma dumping for me. So
Mhm.
um like the nitty gritty is it's stuff that I probably should keep to myself, but I haven't. I probably should have stayed locked inside that little music box of mine. But
But that's
Alas.
the point of art, you know?
Yes, if I wasn't honest and crying myself, how can I expect people to care about the music?
Exactly.
Right, I gotta be honest.
Come on.
Yeah. But with that being said, like, obviously the record is very honest. Is there any sort of anxiety in putting out something that is so deeply personal and, as you just said, like essentially trauma dumping?
Yeah, of course. It's like opening my therapist's files and letting people read them.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, there's a few songs on this record I likely will never talk about what it's actually about, you know, and I know that, the band knows that, and the things and the people that it's about, they're fully unaware of it, and it probably has to come to my grave with me. But even so, I mean, I was talking with one of our dear friends the other day who has also heard the album kind of ahead of time, and he was talking to me about a song that genuinely I feel like I'd forgotten the original meaning of it and what it had meant to me when I wrote it. And he explained how much it helped him with like his relationship with his dad, and he recently came out as gay. His dad is, you know, like Republican leaning. He's a Midwest man in his mid 50s or something, you know, like the typical story. And it helped him kind of, I guess, cope, because I don't think he's come to terms with it. I don't think there's been like a resolution from it, you know, but like whatever the hell I said, you know, resonated in a way where he was able to think about his relationship with his father, and how if they just spoke, you know, like open communication. And that song, I mean, in the end, it's all about kind of this feeling of nothingness and like what's worth it and what do you have to lose in the end from trying to learn and listen and understand. And he got a lot out of it, and that's everything, you know.
Yeah.
That was one of those little moments where I got to cry in public, and it was nice.
It's awesome.
Embarrassing.
Hell yeah.
Oh, fuck that.
So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for the album?
It was terrible. Yeah. I love talking about this because I feel like lots of bands like to sugarcoat their writing process. Come on. I was in an apartment with my guys for like 35 days straight. Ryan kept making steaks every night just for himself. They were really good. I mean, I couldn't afford to get my own steak. Steaks are expensive. I'm like, I mean, I can afford steak. I ain't gonna buy the steak. You know what I mean?
Every night too.
I'm a ramen
That's
noodle guy.
Ridiculous, man.
Protein. He's been growing. He's trying to move houses with his own arms. Looks good.
Yeah.
But the writing process for us is always hell. I mean, we go in with loads of ideas. We used to go in with no ideas and come out with an album, and now we go in with loads of ideas and throw so many in the trash can. And I think we have a really weird writing process anyway, where like, I don't know, it's like it is very heavily 4 people involved, you know, and James is writing the riffs, but he writes 700 riffs that we all think are fire. He's looking for one specific riff, and we're like, what the hell are you doing? Like, I heard hundreds of good riffs.
I've heard them all.
I think you'd think you would.
Yeah.
And then riff 897 is just like, damn. That's fire. But we'll write like a quarter of a song, and then we'll try to put vocals on it. If it's trash, we'll just throw it away.
Wow.
Great. We don't waste any time. Sick. I'm actually like I'm a first idea guy. I genuinely 100% believe that my first idea is the correct idea, and it's not like I don't want to work thing, because I'm going to do the first idea and then I'm going to show you the next 70 ideas I have. And we're all going to agree that first one was sauce and the rest are terrible. So I've tried to like lean into understanding that, but trying to explain that to other people and being like, yo, no, trust me, you don't need to hear me make any more ideas. Like, I know it's this one. It takes like a lot of faith, and they don't have it, and I don't blame them. So our writing process is mostly just like, you know, James can't find the riff. I have found the melody. How do we convince each other that the song should be done?
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Without killing each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
that
real
does
feat.
sound like a headache. Damn. So, are there
Yeah.
any songs where you don't follow your like basically demoitis rule, I guess, where it's just your first
Ah,
idea
yeah,
is
the
the line?
demoitis rule. Yeah,
Yeah.
and most people try to fight the demoitis, right? Silly.
Yeah.
Don't,
No,
don't.
you lean
You're
into it.
correct. Yeah, you are correct about it. Your first idea was better. Any songs where the demoitis didn't work? No, I can't think of any that I went back and rewrote the chorus and said, no, this is better than the original one. Um, Not one. I remember once when we were
So,
writing, I'm not sure if James is familiar with the truth of this story. He's a guitarist for anyone listening who doesn't know. Just our song Drag Me Down, that we wrote before this album has nothing to do with this album coming up. It's just a fun tidbit. I had written a chorus,
mm,
sent it to him. We took like a week or two off. He wasn't really feeling it. I was like, okay, fine, I'll try some other things. So I try a few other things. I send them back and forth with him. And we get back into the studio and I lay down one of the newer ideas, which was like, is that okay idea? It's fine. I wouldn't have been in love with it, but it was fine. And James sitting on the couch, he's like, no, okay, so I don't love that. What if you tried this? And he sings a melody. And I look at my producer, I look at James, and I say, okay, I'm gonna go try this.
mm,
I sing that melody, and it's perfect. It's the best melody you've ever heard for that song.
mhm.
Because it's the original melody that I sent him the first time that he said he didn't know if he was like really super into. Uh,
Jesus Christ, dude.
so I just retracked the first melody and I was like, yeah, you're right. This is amazing. This is the best melody ever.
Just continuing to prove your
Yeah,
point over and over and
let's
over
put the
again.
harmonies on it and we'll move on.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if other people have really good first ideas, and they might listen to this and think, wow, what an egotistical piece of shit. But I mostly just know my second ideas are bad.
Yeah.
My first idea is
Yeah.
great. It's
I
the
mean, you
ADD,
trust your
you know?
gut. Yeah.
I
Mm.
do,
Yeah,
Mhm.
because it's taught me so much.
exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. So, what song off the album took longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
Shoot. Longest to write. Um, I'm gonna phone a friend. Devin, what was the longest song to write on the album? Permanence and Sleep? Yeah, 'cause we didn't really like it that much. Permanence and Sleep, yeah. We legitimately got out of the studio, talked to our manager, we're like, yeah, this isn't a single anyway. We don't really want it to be like the brand of the band. And he was like, yeah, totally understand. And now it's a single and it's doing better than most of the other
One of
ones.
my favorites
And
off the record.
the live reaction's really good. And
Mhm.
yeah, it's just when I was writing it, I was really like, I'm gonna write the most metalcore melody I have ever written.
Mhm.
Uh, and after writing it, I was like, I hate myself. It's really good.
Mhm.
It's great.
Yeah.
Uh, so whatever. I'm happy about it. After like months of listening to it, I'm like, maybe I was on some sauce there.
Yeah.
Um, and I think I was, but it took forever because yeah, we were like, this sucks. This song is trash, and we hate it, and it's garbage. And why is the beat so happy? And kind of like we want to fail, I guess, is the truth. A
Yeah.
little
So,
self-loathing, I think, in the studio is what it is.
yeah. So, if you guys hated it, why did you keep working on it?
Because it was really good and we knew it, and we only hated it because it felt like it was a departure from what we thought we should be. And
Oh.
it was the second song we wrote, I think, right? Like it. So to go from who we were and then to
Mhm.
write this very metalcore, like more metalcore than we usually allow ourselves to get, no matter how much we love metalcore and our
Yeah.
metalcore. Like this was like we're usually out of pocket, and this was like going
Mhm.
into the pocket and being like, look,
We are the
we've
pocket.
told you for we've told you for years we could do it.
Mm.
Like, and that's kind of like the feeling of it is like we've said for years we can be a really good metalcore, like cut and dry metalcore band. We have the ability. We simply choose not to.
Mhm.
Exactly.
And this was like well, if you want us to write a metalcore song, we'll write a metalcore song kind of vibe. And
Mhm.
now our Spotify streams are like doubling all the time, and it's better than it was. It's just like a big fucking prank, I guess.
Yeah. Damn.
And your
I like
personal
it when a
favorite.
prank goes well.
Yeah. Yeah. This one's kind of blowing up in your face, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, good for me.
Yeah.
Good for me.
Right. Congratulations,
Thanks.
actually. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And your personal favorite?
How could you lose? I'm a vibe guy. And that's that 90s smoke while you contemplate the future of the internet kind of song, you know?
Mm-hmm.
For me, I'd be watching Beyblades, listening to that on my couch in the den in 1997 or some shit.
Mhm.
Beyblades probably wasn't out in 97, but my concept of time is pretty warped at this
Mhm.
point.
We could say it was out then, you know?
Yeah, sure. Nobody's
Yeah.
fact checking.
Exactly. Why the fuck would people fact check you? That's so dumb.
If the presidents can lie, I can lie too. So Beyblade in 1997 was one of the greatest hits.
There
Everybody
you go.
believes it. The people have been saying it for years.
Exactly.
I believe it.
Forever.
Yeah.
Forever and ever.
Thanks.
So how'd the track list for your album come about? Did you guys write the opener, be the opener, close be a closer, shuffle around and see what fits? What was that process like?
It felt more like an unintentional, like kind of linear story kind of ended up in it. And we have we have that song, "The Sound of Roses in Bloom," which is an interlude of sorts, right? But it is also single-handedly the most important line of the album in that song. And I think it splits the album perfectly because in the beginning it's mostly songs about like my mental states, where we were, how we're trying to like cope with the feelings and the sadness and the morose depression of it all. And maybe like having a couple moments of overcomings. And then the latter half of it is very much like an introspective of like, albeit everything is going better and I do have this like I am whole without with whatever's happened to us or me in the past. There is still so much like, I don't know, dread, existential and like very metaphysical kind of everywhere I go and everywhere I am. And it's like it's kind of more of like the end is like an acceptance of the the mortality and the fragileness of what I am, kind of like sad.
So would you be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating this record?
Bad place. I had just lost my first salary job, which was like my favorite thing I had ever gotten because benefits were sick. And I had money to buy things that I liked. But yeah, so I lost that to go on that tour with the Plot and You, because apparently the CEO of a company, when they hear you go on a tour, they think you do cocaine and go to jail.
Yeah. Something about companies not liking the bands that tour, like people in touring bands.
That was like 10 years ago. I'm 30. You know, like just don't hire a 21-year-old on tour if you don't want them doing cocaine. Or in 2024, who the fuck does coke in 2024? That's too much of a gamble for me.
Yeah.
You know, with the stuff.
The things, yeah.
The stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, generally my headspace was pretty bad. I think everybody's headspace was pretty bad. We had just like I said, like everything that was kind of going on, it didn't stop, you know. When we stopped being independent and got a record label again, it came with its own world of problems that we thought we'd be done dealing with, but we're back dealing with them. And that's not to say that there's not pros to being on a record label again. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat and say I love it, but it's doing what we wanted it to do, and I accepted the negativity or the negative like aspects that were going to come with it. But yeah, being in a studio is not fun. I don't think anymore. It's work and it's painful, and we're not writing songs about like enjoying life and partying. You know what I mean? We're sitting there. I'm having to like consciously think about all of the worst things that ever happened to me. And maybe that's because it's like the brand. I don't know. But also I can't imagine writing a happy song. So I know that I have to be in a bad place to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the album would have fucking sucked if I had been happy.
That's fair.
Do you struggle at all, like, knowing that in order to write what would, like, a record for this band, you have to be in a bad spot mentally? Do you struggle with that at all?
I think it's kept me out of therapy a while. I mean, but also like having a mother who's a therapist will do that to you, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But no, I quite like it, you know? I think at least nowadays, when I was in my 20s, yes. Yeah. I mean, when I was younger and I was going through the traumatic events and I was in misery the whole time,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think it was pretty bad. And I think it had some deep, like long lasting effects on everybody in this group, even like our crew. Um, just the shit this music industry will do to you.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't trade it. I might redo some things in a different way, but I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade my mindset either. I've always been a proponent of embracing the darker side of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I truly believe that. I mean, if your life is purely happy, you're gonna have no context when anything does go wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you live in this like blissfully weird world of ignorant happiness, I think you're probably just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to put it nicer than that. Like if you can ignore it all, that's awesome. That's sick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to be that stupid. So like congratulations.
Yeah,
A little
absolutely.
envious.
So this question should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words, no more, no less.
Sexy, heavy, sad.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say that about sums it up.
Yeah.
Does that sound
about
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the words y'all would use?
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Damn.
That's actually the best part about me switching to my phone is I can do.
Exactly. You're not limited to the one
Yeah.
little box. Yeah.
I got 4-inch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Right. So, are you able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments during the creation of the album, positive or negative?
I mean, honestly, like there's two sides to my responses. One is like I can't remember yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I gonna lie, I grew up with pretty bad ADHD and smoking weed since I was 15 hasn't helped me.
Yeah.
It's actually the bane of my existence for my wife. Like she wants to murder me and find a way to put like a better memory in me and then bring me back to life. But there were plenty.
Yeah.
There were a lot of moments.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't a single one of us that didn't have like some sort of mental breakdown, except maybe Ryan. He's really good at compartmentalizing.
Mm-hmm.
Like instead of having a mental breakdown, he'll just go rip some gains and hit like a PR in the gym. Me, I'll smoke until I can forget about what I'm mad about. Devin got to go on walks. James got to ignore people. After 10 years, I mean, like the memorable events in the studio kind of disappear, and you just remember like, oh yeah, we definitely wanted to kill each other. Our producer was definitely in a precarious situation, watching us wanting to kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
Had we not wanted to kill each other, we would have made bad music. So what can you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. This isn't like
Yeah.
sage advice for other people writing music or anything. It's just, you know,
It's how,
we've
it's how it
done
functions. That's how
we've
you
done it
guys
for
function.
10 years together. We don't have member changes. You know, there's not like a fresh new person coming in being like, whoa, positivity, y'all. This is exciting. We're making music. It's just 10 dudes who are like, I think this is the year I end it all. You know?
This is it.
Yeah. Like, I think I actually might hate you a little bit.
I think it's time for us to find new friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we get
See other
home,
people.
don't call,
Mm-mm.
don't write, don't
Mm-mm.
talk to me.
Yeah.
Come by my house.
Yeah, don't come by my house. Exactly, that video.
That's awesome.
Wonderful.
Well, since you're on tour, we have to ask, what's been your go-to snack when you're stopping at a gas station or a rest stop?
It's changed. I got these wisdom teeth issues, so I can't eat most of my favorite snacks, which are chips, because I'll get a weird infection.
You gotta get that shit taken care of. Is it just taking them out? Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It's okay.
He's a
Yeah.
I don't want to
musician.
get mine
Dental
out.
insurance
I
doesn't
got
exist.
all of them. I pay for dental and I don't use it.
Mhm.
Yeah, look, once you're 31 and you're in a band, if you don't also have like a gig doing web development like me, making enough to get health insurance, we're back to that maybe you're stupid kind of thing. Uh,
Mhm.
get it together.
Yeah,
You got to go
figure
to
it
the
out.
doctor. You have to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Go
Close
to
enough.
snack.
Go to
Oh
snack.
yeah, sorry, I got on my healthcare rant. Almost, so nearly. I'll do it.
No question.
You shouldn't have to pay health insurance.
I
True,
agree.
Yeah.
We can talk about that, but we got to talk about snacks.
Yeah.
Almond Joy, hot fries. You know what my real favorite snack is? When people bring me little disposable weed pens. I could eat those all day. I could chew on that
Yeah.
for years.
Yummy.
Bring this man his little disposable weed pens. He's out on tour
Thank
for a
you.
while.
Yeah.
Hashtag ad. Hashtag send it. Y'all hashtag? Y'all look young. Y'all hashtag still?
I dabble.
We hashtag on the posts. It doesn't do anything, but we hashtag
nice.
it.
Do shit.
15 years ago, I saw hashtags and I was like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And 15 years later, I'm like, yeah, guess what? It still doesn't work.
Yeah. Does jack shit, man.
Y'all
It's
co-opted the pound sign, which had an importance, and you gave it something new and worthless. Thank you, internet.
Okay, so you're saying we.
That's a collective, you compounded on it. I'm looking at 2005 internet gurus. Come from MySpace, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually more my generation.
I was
I'm
gonna say
pointing
that's
at
I was
you.
gonna say, I'm like, we
Yeah.
we
You?
I was
missed
not on
MySpace.
MySpace.
Like,
Yeah.
Levi from Miss Mary is bringing it back. So
yeah.
Okay.
just
Dope.
just throwing it out there. He just developed like a brand new MySpace for Miss May. You can log in and create an account, post bulletins.
I saw that. It's fucking dope.
You know what?
The
That's
world
actually
needs
kinda
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we were missing.
Since Twitter has disappeared.
Twitter's
That's
dog shit.
cool, man.
That
Oh my
place
god.
sucks.
It's fucking awful.
That place sucks.
So back to food for a minute. If the band was a dish, what dish would the band be and why?
I'd say chicken sausage gumbo.
Ooh.
Gumbo is known for like being like kind of like a big lanyap pot, so like whatever you got goes in it. And since we all are so polar opposite and different and hate each other and love each other at the same time, it sounds like gumbo to me.
It does sound a little bit like gumbo.
Yeah. I don't even know what a non-Louisiana beef stew. Just a bunch of different things inside a stew. But that doesn't sound as good.
No, gumbo is everyone fucking knows gumbo. Yeah.
Band's a lot like beef stew.
Oh, okay, back to beef. Okay, yeah, beef stew.
All right. And for the last couple questions, going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Gumbo.
Okay.
We'll just slap back to it real quick. Drink, Mexican Coke, probably.
Ooh,
crisp.
Dope.
Crisp.
Glass bottle.
I deserve it. I'm on death row.
Yeah.
Why the fuck not? Yeah.
What'd you do to get there, though?
Oh.
Murder, probably. I'd have to assume.
Yeah.
What else do you do to get on death row?
Probably.
Yeah. I would have to assume I killed a lot of people, so maybe I don't deserve it.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
I'm only saying I assume that because how else do you get death row? You gotta be wicked bad.
Yeah,
True.
you gotta do some fucked up shit.
They don't hand that out to everybody. Any old Joe.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. And if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
I'd be in the Shire so fast you wouldn't even know what to do with me. My shoes would be off. I'd be mashing potatoes. I'd be growing plants, smoking pipe weed. Come on.
Damn right. 8 meals a day, man. It's just crazy.
It's like I'm at home smoking on my porch anyway.
Exactly.
Except the weather looks better. Sorry, drop stuff. I am on a phone. You can see my whole world as I move.
It's okay. And I've not asked the last question. Every single person that we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question. What's your favorite color?
Purple.
Specific shade.
Like a lavender.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's solid.
Nice little pale one.
Yeah.
Lilac too. If
Yeah.
we're getting into it, they're pretty similar, but not quite.
Yeah.
All right.
Beautiful.
So as I said, that's all the questions you have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
No.
No.
Our album comes out November 1st. Don't get confused if you see a different date. It's because they decided to make us change the date that we released the record. I don't know. So November 1st, A Piece of Me, I Never Let You Find. It's the best record you'll hear all year. I'm sure of it. It's not just my ego, it's just a proven fact.
Mhm.
Working Hill, Bring Us Disposables.
Hell yeah.
So you could chew them.
Yep.
Please. Yeah, that's food.
All right. Well, thank you, Soundsman Elijah from Cane Hill, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.